So, we're gonna go ahead with Zig Ziglar's book about how to stay motivated for quite ever, or whatever it is called. Developing the Qualities of Success. Yeah. I think it is a pretty cool book around that topic, and I would just also say that Zig Ziglar is indeed a good source when it comes to that. Fortunately, he already died, but still, he's been one of the greatest motivational speakers we had on this planet. And even though I haven't been listening to quite a lot of his motivational speakers or speeches, I have been listening to speakers and people that were inspired by him. For example, Seth Godin, a very good marketer and a very, very, very interesting personality and person. Was inspired by him, then Les Brown, and just quite a lot of people. And this is an amazing thing. And yeah, but we're going to go ahead with chapter 5. And so I'm going to read. If you won't read, then it is as good as not being able to. I think that we all need to consume some information in some or the other way. If it is through reading or listening, I don't know. It just really is something that you have to figure out for yourself. But I wouldn't just put reading on a pedestal. I wouldn't consider reading just the top way of just getting information into your head, into your system, into your mind, into whatever. You cannot perform in a manner that is inconsistent with how you see yourself. When your attitude changes, everything about your life will change. That's indeed the case. How we are seeing things, what perspective we're having, indeed is a very great predictor of how you're feeling and how you're going to feel about yourself and just all sorts of things. You are exactly where you want to be. This is a very interesting thing, but I wouldn't say where you want to be, but where you just, put yourself into by these actions that you've taken yesterday and the day before and whatnot. So yeah, change your perspective from go-tos to get-tos. The sign of an immature individual is wanting instant gratification. I wouldn't say immature, it is still something that we all want to have. It basically boils down to, pleasure and, getting pleasure out of whatever. But yeah, still going for the long term is always going to be a good thing. Always have something to work on when the unexpected happens in order to make a positive situation out of a negative one, which is a very, very, very good advice. Always have something in your mind to do that is smart. I wouldn't say to work on and stuff, but I would say something that you would consider smart. Whether it is actually sleeping, whether it is just playing video games, if it is something smart for you to do so because you're using it as a way to just get down, you're using it as a way to just then be better tomorrow or after you had that little session to work better. I would say not necessarily work, but some things that make sense for you in your situation, in your life, for you. Discipline is doing the thing you need to do so that you can do the things you want to do. Discipline is a very big thing for me as well. Even though I would say that you can also overdo it to some degree, when you're just staying disciplined and in all areas of your life, there has to be some sort of a boundary. What is too much of discipline? Because I wouldn't necessarily say, but I think that is something that a lot of people are thinking about. That there is pleasure in life and there is great things in life, and we really should also get that because of the fact that we should get the whole experience of life, and maybe we're gonna regret that. That is not necessarily the case for me. And how I think about things, but I don't know, like if I'm really disciplined in every single aspect of life. And I mean, the problem is there is a lot of things that I want myself to do. Healthy eating, then working out, then cold showering, no matter how fucking painful it is, no matter how much I don't want to do it, meditating. Even though this is something that I have not been very good recently, and I'm seeing it, I don't like that. Being a nice person, this is not necessarily something that is work for me. And all the podcast things and just the posts and whatnot, it is work. Of course, it is work. I still like to do it, and I don't know. I really, when I overdo it, and I'm especially seeing it with I think I've seen it the most with working out. If I just overdo it and if I just really am just really, really strict, then, well, maybe it also comes up to the workouts, of course. But I would say if you fuck yourself and if you don't feel good living your life, then you should change something. Even though I do always want to say, I'm having my weekend. Tomorrow I actually have to work. I'm having my night shift. Very excited for that, actually. Not in a way of, okay, I want to see some shit, which I have yesterday. Seeing that people is strange. Even though just working for the Red Cross and stuff, it is a strange thing. It still is. But the thing is, I'm excited, but it is still like, on these days where I'm working, on these days where I'm quite stressed out and have a lot of things to do, I feel like, wow, I would really like to have a day where I'm just not doing that much. But when I'm having this day, which is most often Saturday, I don't feel that good. I don't feel completed. I feel that there is something I should be doing all the time. And it is something that I personally struggle with and should figure out. And, besides other things that are just going on and are bothering me a bit. But if I find solutions and if I get to understand what is going on and what I'm doing wrong, then I'm definitely going to tell you that shit. I actually do have to do quite a lot of things today. For today, actually. I haven't done a lot of work yesterday. Because, my friend said, well, let's just do something. And I thought, well, I should. Because today, probably, maybe some people don't have any time for me. So I would have felt like just not that well. So yeah. Anyway, reader's note, he's talking about how obeying the compass allows for the sailor to have more freedom. This is similar to the idea of discipline equals freedom from the book Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin. If you do more than you're paid, then someday you'll get paid more for what you do. Change your thinking. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. Yes, that's definitely the case. Change up some things. Do something new. Self-centered people are not happy. Definitely the case. Invariably, when your thoughts are on yourself, you're not a happy, productive individual. Yes, that's definitely the case. 100%. I can guarantee that. This is also one of the reasons why I feel very fulfilled when I am being a nice person and I feel that I'm being a nice person, that I'm adding something to somebody else's life. Whether it is by saying something nice to them, whether it is by just fucking listening to them, or whether it is by just doing something else, donating. Maybe the podcast also goes a little bit into that direction, but I don't feel at this point in time that much that I'm just doing something that other people are benefiting from. Maybe it is the case. I can't tell. I hope that it is the case, but I couldn't for sure say. But when it comes to just helping people in person, people that I know, people that are just important to me, then I see it and then I recognize it and stuff. And so then it is a cool thing. When actually thinking about other people and just helping other people and whatnot. Self-centered people are the most miserable people. Anyone who has accomplished anything has had a lot of people to thank. Yeah, at least your parents for just putting you into this fucking world. When you put that other person first, amazing things happen. Relationships are incredibly important. Yes. Reader's note, this reminds me of the ideas in The One Thing about going short with relationships and bringing everyone with you. Yes. Relationships are one of the most important things we as human beings can have. And whether it is a love relationship or whether it is a relationship with people around us, it is an amazing thing. Only because, first of all, knowing people is one of the, well, it is actually a very important thing. If you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, if you have a really big network, you're always going to benefit from that. You're always going to fucking benefit from that. Because if you need something, well, you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that actually has that or can provide that or can help you with that, which then is an amazing thing. So I do also consciously or have been consciously thinking about growing my network and just getting to more new people and all of these things, because it is an amazing thing, and also because I like people. I really like people. I love them. It's amazing. Maybe this is also one of the reasons why I don't like animals that much, like dogs and stuff. I understand people. But for me, it's like, I don't know, I would consider myself being more of a people person than an animal person. But anyway, chapter 6, uh, it's already beginning in a very, very amazing way. Treat others with courtesy and respect. Do that. If you don't do this, fuck yourself. Our relationships and input has a huge effect on us, definitely. Those who are closest to you will determine your level of success. Emotional intelligence is the ability to know what you and those around you are feeling and to handle those feelings accordingly. Hope is to the spirit as oxygen to the brain. Hope is thinking about your goals and how to achieve them. Hope is negative if it is at the expense of others. I don't really get what he's saying there, but I feel like that it is something quite amazing. Those who learn so that they can teach others is happier and more fulfilled. Change is sometimes painful, but then so is unemployment and bankruptcy. Well, yeah, that's totally the case. People change when it is to their advantage. Yes. They change when they believe they can, when they have a plan of action, when they can really see the possibilities and benefits for the future. I do like those two sentences really a lot. People change when it's to their advantage, and the other one, because understanding that may definitely help you to help people, because if you provide them something that's for their advantage, and if you provide them a plan and an action plan, and when they can see the possibilities and benefits, because if you can tell them a lot, you can tell people a lot of things, you can tell them about benefits, you can tell them about whatnot, but if they themselves don't really believe in it, if they themselves don't see it, they're not going to do anything about it. Extrinsic motivation is never going to be as big as intrinsic motivation. But the thing is, extrinsic, I hope this is the right word, but I kind of just doubt that. Extrinsic motivation can lead to intrinsic motivation. Outside motivation can lead to inside motivation, but outside motivation is never going to be as big as inside motivation, because it can still be the case that there is outside motivation but no inside motivation, so there's no reason for somebody to do something about it because they themselves are not motivated to do anything. So why should they do something? You wouldn't do something as well that you're not just, I don't know, that you actually don't want to have, but other people want to have it. I don't want to smoke. Some people want to do this, but I'm still not motivated to do it because I myself, in my just inner system, I'm not just, I don't know, convinced that it is a good thing or whatnot. Very bad example, but I think you know what I'm referring to. The healthiest of all human emotions is gratitude. The more gratitude you express, the more you will have to be grateful for. And by the way, this is also one big quote-unquote reason why I would say that working for the Red Cross and in some other institutions that are doing something similar is something that can be quite important for everyone and beneficial for everyone, because you're seeing things. You're seeing people that are just hanging onto machines, and you see people that are dead, and you see people that are in very, very bad conditions or very bad condition. And well, for me, it's not immediately changing my mind like, wow, I need to be happy about things. Not always, when I'm seeing people hanging onto machines, then it does. But when you think about it, and when I look back to or onto what I've seen up to this point and what I've experienced and whatnot, then I don't know, I notice things, and I just understand like, well, I'm healthy and I'm feeling good and I can do quite a lot of things. And this is not necessarily something that we all can do. Of course, most often it is elderly people, fortunately, that I have something to do with when I'm working. And but I mean, when it comes to a situation where you can't even talk, you can't talk properly, you can't walk properly, you can't do anything quite properly. I mean, you're living, and these people are still probably grateful for them living, and just, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, it's fucked up. The number one objective of any business is to make a profit, yes. And the number one priority should be to make the world a better place. Yes. With integrity, you have nothing to fear because you have nothing to hide. It is not what you get at the destination, it is what you become that really matters and is valuable. Attitude is more important than many things. It takes time to claim the qualities of success, and you have to do it, and the motivation will follow. And there's one I think I have left out. The more gratitude you express, the more you will have to be grateful for. Indeed. Well, I've actually nearly gone through it, so should I stop here? Well, I think I'm gonna stop here because I do want to record a third one as well, and my voice is already just declining in quality and declining in just power and whatnot. But yeah. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for listening and watching. It really means a lot to me, and I hope that I've been able to just make something and produce something that adds some value to people. Whether it is by the things that I'm saying, or whether it is by the things that you can see on the screen there, and that I'm reading and going through and whatnot, I do really hope from the bottom of my heart that I'm able to do something that other people are benefiting from in some way. You know, of course, I would like to change people's lives. But if I'm not doing that, but just making somebody happy for a second, it is still something. You know, it is still something that I can benefit from, and it's still something that I think is a great thing and adds to just my legacy and my karma. But yeah. I wish you the best health of happiness and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person, and then therefore also being remembered as a nice person, which is an amazingly cool thing. 3 other questions that I have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. And last question, and maybe even the most important one, is what could you essentially say to another person that is indeed going to change their life? Because I believe from the bottom of my heart that we all can say something, and we all can express something that is indeed going to change people's lives. You know, whether it is those people that we really closely know, or whether it is the stranger that is wearing cool shoes and you tell him or her that they're wearing cool shoes, it is gonna make a difference, and it does make a difference. So, and it also does make a difference if you're liked by people, you know, and being a nice person and just, I don't know, man, like, yeah, man. It is crazy, but yeah, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So bye-bye. Please stay safe and healthy, you and your family and loved ones. And I'm going to see you the next time. Bye-bye.